all my Crimsonites, and welcome to the Crimson Cure channel, where we embrace our femininity, increase our womanly values, and celebrate our brothers. So join me on our feminine journey to learn, heal, and grow. Hey everybody, how we doing? Hopefully we doing good. Thank you, Siobhan, for being the first to contribute today. So just showing love. Thank you so much, sweetheart. Hopefully everybody's doing well. I don't know how long we're going to be here. Could be an hour, could be less. I don't know yet. Thank you so much, Ashlyn. Said just had to subscribe and hooked on your vids all day. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I appreciate you, sweetheart. So I wanted to talk about something interesting. Me and my husband was having a chat the other day, and he brought up a very good point about entitlement. And it's a point that you know, but you didn't, for whatever reason, connect that dot right in your face. And it's the sense of entitlement that these women feel to men's money. You know, the whole thing we've been seeing for a few years premiered on social media. These women wanting these so-called high-value men. Ever since that phrase entered the lexicon, Black women in particular, other women too, but Black women in particular, you know, he got to make 100,000. He got to make 200,000. He can't make less than 300,000. And all of this type of stuff. And I got to be in my soft girl era. And I don't want to pay no bills. And I don't want to be responsible financially for anything, you know. And I want to be able to take trips. And I want to be able to XYZ, yada, yada, yada. And my husband brought up a very, very good point about it. He said, baby, you know why they feel entitled, right? I said, why? He said, because they feel like that's what the government do. So surely a man will do it. The government will give them food, and the government will give them housing and pay their bills, where they don't have to really do nothing. You don't got to go to work. A lot of times on the welfare, they don't even want you to really work. That's why welfare is such a trap, because you can't make a certain amount of income in order to really get off of it in the first place. So that's a poverty trap. But aside from it being a poverty trap, he said, so it's this. These women are receiving these things without having to do nothing. Just go sign up. Just exist, basically. And basically, Zaddy will take care of all your kids, no matter who they have them by. And so when it comes to a man, they feel like the man is supposed to also do that, only at a higher status, though. Because then he also said, if the man gave them what the government gave them, they'd be mad at the man. If the man only gave what the government give for food, little money, your EBT, your Section 8, if the man only did that like minimum, they'd be mad at men about that. It wouldn't be enough. And I pondered that. And I said, you know what that is, where that little entitlement is coming from. That's a good point. Because they feeling like if I can be on government assistance with no man telling me what to do, and I can get my bills paid, I can have my rent paid, at least I can have my rent paid and food taken care of, which is two of the biggest expenses of any household. Two of your biggest expenses of any household is going to be rent or mortgage, and it is going to be food, especially if you have a family, husband, wife, children. Especially in this economy, a month worth of groceries, and I'm not even talking fancy groceries, I'm talking about regular groceries where you done meal plan. That's gonna run you about $400-500, if not $600, depending on how many mouths you actually trying to feed in a month's time. So when he said that, I said, okay, they would be mad at a man. This why they don't like 50-50. It all kind of came together. This why they don't like 50-50. They are ballparking a number that they think a man should be able to work and make. Because annually, if you actually work, you should be able to make more than what the minimum of what the government is going to give you. So they don't know how money works. Black women, and I'm not just talking about welfare queens, even though I am speaking on the welfare. Even the women that aren't necessarily on welfare, they know it's there. That if the hard time get hard enough, they actually can go sign up for emergency stamps, things of that nature. So the safety net does exist, whether they taking advantage of it or not. But it made sense also on a deeper level, because this is yet another comparison between the so-called capability of Zaddy versus the lack of capability of Black men. See, this is why when we look on places like Kendra G, and then you be having all these women that hit the wall, had all these women and 4-5 babies and 2-3 baby daddies and a whole situationship and a newborn and all kind of situations. They be gaslighting, they be lying and all kind of stuff. And they'll sit there with a straight face and say that the man that date them got to make $150,000 annually. And they say with a straight face. Some of them pretty, some of them ugly, some of them average, some of them fat, some of them skinny. Don't matter. And you be trying to figure out Baby, have you looked in the mirror? Have you looked around at your circumstances, beloved? How are you going to get that? And the reason that they feel a man, particularly a black man, should do this is because Zaddy doesn't care what condition she's in. See, he will take care of her no matter what condition she in. Zaddy, in this sense, accepts her as she is. He accepts the conditions that she has created for herself. He accepts to Zaddy, body count don't matter. To Zaddy, how many baby daddies you got don't matter. To Zaddy, it don't matter if you done hit the wall or not. To Zaddy, it don't matter if you average or above average or below average. To Zaddy, it don't matter if you got a face full of clown makeup and a 30-inch bust down weave. See, Zaddy don't care. If you go down there to that office and you start signing up for stuff, Zaddy gonna give you something. Okay? He accepts you in any and all situations, except, and this is key, the only time Zaddy don't accept black women is when she got it together. When I say Zaddy, I mean the government assistance in this case, right? See, the women that's got it together, she can't get nothing out of Zaddy. She can't get nothing out of him. If she didn't make the decision to be a single mom, if she made the decision to work, and let's just say she got laid off for a little bit. At one point I was laid off for a little bit. I was working at the customer service, and I got laid off for a little spell, just a few months. And we was kind of in a little bit of a hardship. I couldn't afford to have been laid off. I didn't go down to the welfare office, but I did go and sign up for unemployment. And as soon as I was able to find work again, I cut the unemployment off. If I had remained unemployed, if for whatever reason I wasn't able to get another job or something, I wouldn't have been able to go get no Section 8. I wouldn't have been able to go get no food stamps. I would not have been able to get cash assistance. You know why? Because I didn't have no crazy situation headed down there. It would have literally been, I need help very temporarily till I get up on my feet. See, that's not even what that's for. They say that's what that's for, but that's not what that's for. They don't give you, they will not give you any form of sufficient assistance without children that don't have their fathers around. If you cannot produce fatherless children to them at that office and tell them you don't know where the daddy at, because when you go down to that office, the next question that they ask you is, where's the daddy? Because the state running a whole scam. They want the child support now. So they be wanting you to name somebody. They don't care who it is. Name some man somewhere. Put his name down there. Put his information down there. And they're going to serve him with documents concerning child support. Now, if you don't want that, you got to say you don't know where no man is at. And then you'll get put on emergency listings and things of that nature. See, the women who get the Section 8 first, because it always be a waiting list that's years long, is the women with fatherless children. The women who have made the worst decisions repeatedly. That is who Zaddy accepts. A female that's not making these decisions and may legitimately need just a little bit, she in between jobs, whatever, just need a little bit. Because they gave me a hard time with unemployment. And I'm like, my tax dollars from when I was employed getting money and checks go to this unemployment. This is my money. What are you talking about? I ain't begging y'all for no money that you out of thin air. I paid into that. That's what unemployment is about. So that made me feel away. You asking me all these questions. Because they be trying to weed out who they gonna help and who they not. Who they gonna, I don't even want to use the word help. Who they gonna bog down and who they not. So in a lot of these Black women's minds, a Black man should be able to compete with Zaddy in the form of government assistance, especially if he is working. And if he is working, his employment should be gainful. But not only should it be gainful, it should be more than a little gainful. He needs to do better than the national average of workers. In the Black woman's mind, this is still the comparison she's making. Even the women who never been on welfare. Now, how, Crimson? How is the women who never been on welfare, how are they implicated? Because guess what? They're looking at the women on welfare get their bills paid. And so they're thinking, oh, surely a man should be able to do that and better than that. If this hood chick can get her rent paid, she renting a whole 3-4 bedroom house with them rug rats. Surely I should be able to go and get a man that is going to provide me that and or better than that. This is what they be talking about. We not gonna settle. And I need a provider protector. See, once my husband said that, them few statements, I said, oh. In her mind, she is still comparing Black men as a whole to white men as a whole, and white men taking the form of the government and handouts and so forth. This is why they have unerringly and overwhelmingly voted Democrat. And I'm not turning this into a political thing. The only reason I'm bringing it up is because the Democrats are always talking about these programs. It's the Republican Party that be talking about cutting these programs. The Democratic Party don't be talking about that. And it was the Democratic Party that implemented it. Right? So they unerringly vote Democrat no matter who it is because of these programs that the Democratic Party is always talking about how they're going to make sure that women have this and women have that. And, they're going to make sure that these programs remain and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, boss lady. See, it was Lyndon B. Johnson administration that implemented welfare and all that as we know it today. Okay. Oh, you Canadian. Oh, okay. That explains it. All right then. Yeah, just want to enlighten you on that a little bit, just a little tad bit of American politics situation. Black women specifically, Black people as a whole, have pretty much always voted Democrat probably for the last 80 to 100 years. And it was largely due to the implementation of those kinds of programs and changing them to behave in the way that they behave. Oh, well, of course. Of course. Of course. You can't never depend on him. He act like he can is dependable, but he not dependable. He not dependable at all. He switch up on you worse than anybody. That's a snake show enough. That's a snake show enough. He gonna switch up now. They switching up now. They been switched up. Black people will not see this. They been switched up. Okay. Okay, since the 60s. I got you. Thank you. Yeah, baby said exactly. That's why even if her rent $50 and 300 food stamps, she'll tell a man her rent is $12.15 because he has to come better than the government. Exactly. See, she'll tell the man what the market rent is, not what she paying. Okay. Yeah, prior to, Black people actually were voting Republican. Prior to all that war on poverty and great society and all that foolishness. Side note, why come folks ain't figured out that this country is a republic? They use the word democracy and republic interchangeably, but this has always been a republic. Do y'all remember the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands. They call it they use it interchangeably, these two words, democracy and republic, which is presumably where we get the names of the two parties, the Democratic Party, the Republican Party. Now, why would we name two quote unquote opposing parties, one democracy and one republic, if they are in fact the same thing? And if the democracy and the republic are the same thing, are we really a bipartisan country? Are we really a two-party country, or are we a one-party country? A little bit off the subject, but necessary. Because all you gotta do is look at this year's election choices. And they're really trying to make one or the other worse than one or the other. If this were really a country about the people of voting in their leaders that are supposed to serve the best interest of the people, we'd have a third option. After these messages, we'll be right back. Because I need everybody to go to ashkicking.com. Go ahead and get you some of the best body butter and body care products on the market. If you're trying to keep your skin looking, feeling, and smelling its absolute best, definitely go once again to ashkicking.com. The link is pinned to the top of the chat. We are way deep into summertime sundress country. So you definitely want to make sure that the skin is smooth and that it's staying moisturized, even in this heat and the sunlight. If this is going to be your first order, please take advantage of the 10% discount using the promo code Crimson. Okay, once again, that is ashkicking.com. Don't know how many likes I need, but I owe you a bam, 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 bam. You gotta hit the like button, bam, bam. You gotta Let me get to the super chats. Let's see. The Real Talk Single Fathers said, wish more women were lionesses like yourself. Thank you so very much. Thank you, Cam, for your super sticker. I appreciate you. Thank you, Lydell said, will I be so simply? This could be correct. Thank you so very much. I appreciate you. Thank you so much, Steve, for your contribution. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. Damien said, hello, Mrs. Kendra. I had to rewrite my algorithm. Good to see you. Good to see you as well. Thank you, Bernard says, showing my support. Thank you so much, sweetheart. Thank you, John Teal said, that's a snake show enough. Oh, y'all want that on a t-shirt? Y'all silly. Okay. Thank you once again, Bernard said, we've been a three-party system before, is how Teddy Roosevelt won. A two-party system is favored because we're not set up as a parliamentary system. Thank you so very much. Hey, Aqua. It's been a long time. How you feeling? Hopefully you feeling all right. Like I said, not gonna turn this into a political talk, but I just needed to like clarify that. Like people need to know what kind of governmental system we actually live in and what those things mean. So again, that made sense on a lot of different levels, being entitled to men's money, because she's comparing the collective of Black men to what the government can or cannot do. The difference isn't that Black men can't provide more than the government gives. That's not really the issue. The issue that she's having with men isn't the issue of not being able to find a man that can do at or above what the government welfare programs can do. Men pay rent all the time. They pay rent where they stay. Okay, they pay bills where they stay. They buy food for where they live at. So they're doing all this stuff anyway. So it's not like these men, are somewhere in a vacuum until a Black woman wants them. That's not what's going on. It's not even that. The problem with them being able to find a Black man, they'll see the smoke screen is about money. They'll say, oh, well, he doesn't provide enough. He doesn't make enough money. The problem with the man versus Zaddy is that the man has a requirement for her. He's not some disembodied entity that's just gonna shell out money and do stuff, and she's not responsible, nor is she accountable for anything that goes on beyond that point of transaction. The man has expectations. He has standards. He has requirements. He has things that he expects for her to do, accountability to hold her to. There's some type of order potentially. There's something that she's gonna have to do. She's not going to be able to just simply show up and exist the way that she is in no matter what condition that she's in, and have a Black man do everything for her, and she does not have to improve. She doesn't have to work on herself. She doesn't have to make any worthwhile changes at all. This is why they really be thinking that. They really be thinking that a man's supposed to come along and I do it. It don't matter who you is or what you about, just as long as you a woman. Yep. And I pay everything. Don't worry about me. Don't worry about me. Like, you really are going to have to stay on welfare if that's what you are expecting. And if that's what you think men are supposed to do. While I do believe Love Wild Violet is a troll, because she was in Danika's chat trolling. Let me just thank you, Zaddy. See, this is what I'm talking about. For helping single mothers who have it hard and who are taking care to help feed 3 kids and a dog. The men can cheat, leave, and want you to fend for yourself. The men who are cheating and leaving are the same men that these women are risking their very mortality for. How they risking it? Having babies is still not no 100% safe. Women still die giving birth to children with all of our modern medicine and technology. Women still do that. And they are doing so. For men that they later will try to tell the world, these men ain't nothing. They ain't no good. They lie, they abandon, and they cheat. But you couldn't find that out one time with one child. You had to find that out 5 times with 4 baby daddies. Never in a million years do they stop to think, maybe I'm the problem. I'm certainly the common denominator. So if I'm the common denominator for all the foolishness that happened in my life, I'm probably the problem. Never once in their life sit back and think, let me reevaluate how I do things, how I think, how I approach life. Because how you do one thing is how you do everything. So how I approach life, how I approach anything, children, my love life, my spiritual life, how do I approach these things? Because the way that I'm approaching them currently are not really yielding me favorable outcomes. I'm having a very hard time, actually. I'm not in the place that I need to be. I'm actually in an interesting place here. These chicks never stop to think, maybe I should solidify a marriage before I risk my life trying to carry a child to term. Anything can happen during my pregnancy. Anything can happen during the childbirth itself. And I have not at least attempted to give my child a stable household and a stable father. They laid up with whoever give them some eggplants. They laid up with whatever man will have them. Make no mistake. Make no mistake. A lot of these women is very trifling. and are lucky to get men that want to sleep with them. See, y'all don't understand. Y'all don't understand. Y'all don't understand how far it has fallen, how far hyenas have fallen. These are some very, very, very trifling females. Y'all can block her if you want to. I don't care. A lot of these females is lucky to get men to want to have sex with them at this point. See, I don't know what world nobody living in where every woman has got all these various choices and options and dudes that want to sleep with them. No, they don't. No, they don't. No, they don't. First of all, a lot of these chicks, it's not even about attractiveness. Let's be clear. This isn't about whether or not the women are outwardly attractive or not. It's about how trifling they really are. These women are their hygiene is bad. When they peel them panties off, if they got on any, they trifling. The panties is trifling. These women be online. They big aged women, not understanding what to do with themselves on their period. They don't understand how to really wash themselves properly and make sure that their vagina is good. All these posts about how everybody pH balance is off, y'all don't listen. All these posts about all these off pH balances.
You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious?
You don't find that suspicious? You don't find all the everybody need a Yanni steam? Everybody need all these creams and all these ointments. Girl, if your pH balance, why do all of y'all know about off pH balance? And I don't care if your mama never taught you nothing. Everything is a Google away. Everything is a Google, an Alexa, and a Siri call away. You look up everything else. You go through that man phone like Inspector Gadget, but you cannot Google how to wash your vajayjay properly. So a lot of these women, they are not getting these men, all these men to have sex with them. Because once the men get into proximity, they don't want to do this. Only a man just as trifling as her would ever think about it. So these women do not have these endless lines of men that just, even if we talking about just want to sleep with them, no. These chicks be coming outside with the thought uniform on and they stink. You wouldn't believe how many chicks I be passing by. You go to the store, and she musty. Baby, you done came outside smelling like mildew, beloved. Let me tell you something. Vaginas go through too much not to wash them every day. Vaginas be doing too much. Vaginas do too much. And to not wash them daily, You real trifling. They don't hardly take showers. They're certainly not bathing and soaking it. When they say it's a self-cleaning oven, it is. Where do you think all of that foolishment and crap it got to come out? It got to come out. And it do come out. That's why you got to wash it so thoroughly. They don't drink no water. Study drinking that alcohol and then following it up with every drink you got is sugary. No. These women do not have all of these different options. These women live out here foul. And a lot of these men, a lot of the men that you would think is low quality enough to have sex with them women, no, they not. They looking at them like, I would never touch you. I don't want you. And they be coming through with the BBLs with a fat booty, and they be coming through. It look good in the clothes. Don't you dare lift that skirt up. Knock you clean out. Then they want somebody to really take time and have sex with you. When you really take time to bathe it, maybe. Half of y'all running around with so many STIs because you don't wash yourself. And I'm not saying washing is a cure for the STI. It's just the correlation I'm making is because you live so triflingly with your body, you're not even watching it. You letting folks slide in raw. You let all kind of stuff. You letting it mix. No. You're not even being careful with your kitty cat. You ain't looking at the men and see if they got something going on before you let him enter into you. Stuff be having, just bacteria, and your vagina is just not a good place for this. That's why y'all yeast infections be going crazy. Too much candida. That live off of sugar. So that go back to all the foolishness you eat. I don't know how I got on hygiene, but whatever. You're taking these little bird baths. Girl. So these women ain't out here just fighting off men with a stick. Let's not say that. Because it's a lot of women that are now complaining about how men don't approach them no more. So they don't have all of these different options. Don't get fooled by that. Oh, women can have any man. No, she can't. No, she can't. No, she can't. Anyway. Right, you got parasites. A lot of that stuff feed off of the sugar and it feed off of the the chemical preservatives and things of that nature of a bunch of processed food. You get parasites from processed food most of the time. So there are a great many people walking around with parasites in their gut because they eat anything from anywhere. You ain't cooking meat all the way through because you don't know how to cook. You eat meat from anywhere. You would go to any greasy spoon and get you something because it's 2 a.m. and you hungry and you done drunk a lot while you was out. So now you need something on your stomach, girl. You wonder why you get dysentery for 24 hours. Parasites can be on fruits and vegetables, which is why you have to wash them properly. And I don't mean run them under the water. I mean soak them in some baking soda and vinegar. Soak them. I disinfect fruit. I don't rinse fruit. I disinfect it because it's been everywhere. And who done touched it? It rolled on the floor. Mm-mm. I don't trust that. Them apples done rolled all over the grocery store, and you think running it under some water gonna help you? Anyway, jump down in the comment section. Oh, before I do that, by the end of the week, I'm gonna have the announcements up about our meet and greet that we're going to have soon. So give me to the end of the week, and then I'll be able to make a date announcement and things of that nature. Okay. Told you I was getting some stuff together. All right. So we're going to have something for the subscribers to look forward to before the summer is completely out. I want to make sure that we have our meet and greet and everything / book signing. So please be on the lookout for that. So jump down in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Like, share, subscribe to the channel if you have not. Once again, I'm your hostess, The Crimson Cure, and this was my perspective. Bye-bye, Crimsonites.